Yep. 10 years of Dota 2 on this night. It's 10 years since a group of Alvin play got together and played the very first match of Dota 2. Of course, Riki's stumping. I'm talking better. The Mason one-time nice toggle. Holy fuck.
Sniper here. Time for target practice.
He is low.
We weren't finished.
What's Legion doing? Who doesn't steal shrapnel? Holy shit.
Triple kill. And efficient.
Dr. Lee.
Has fallen.
Iceberg and Dota FPS. Yes. I'm loving the Epic League hosts and cast, but I'm wishing they embrace the theme as much as Russian hosts. Pog? Dota's so dead she was casting CSGO now. Look at his response to the drama. Just hit him, son. RP is meant to be.
Why do Spatch kick people out of the country club? Because he dismembers.
He dismembers. This bug's been out here for 10 million years. They don't care about the replay at all. Mary Weeha. Nice. Some more whining. We really made it up to address this.
Me love you long time.
It works. They're alive.
Twice last year and Topher.
Alright. Holy shit! What just happened?
Nice.
Holy shit, what is the stack? What? What the fuck is this? What? Yo, we have to fight this. Yo, we shouldn't let them take this shit.
Actually stomping noobs. They nerfed the conquer stack, you can't stack as easily now.
What the fuck was that
there's no healing
stack?
creeps. Spending on a Christmas without this beautiful makes me man. The Peg Forces. AdmiralBulldog, Major Witch, and General Laden. He's balding. Please help him. I know you're trying to compensate by growing a beard, but we can still see you're balding. We got him. New Twitch policy. Nice. I didn't go through this. Let's have a read here. This is important, guys. This is important.
Every day, millions of people come together on Twitch to
True.
share their passion and skill, support their favorite streamers, and connect with friends.
Yep.
Communities on Twitch. Today, we're introducing an updated hateful conduct and harassment policy. This new policy will take effect on January the 22nd, 2021. Content created on or after January 22 will be evaluated under the new guidelines. These changes are intended to better protect the community, not to be punitive. So we are sharing them before the updated policy.
Guys, it's you that's kicked by, not me.
So we are sharing. During this education period, our safety team will continue to moderate content using the existing guidelines. We understand that any change in policy requires you to invest time to read the new language and consider how it might impact your behavior. And we are grateful for your support as we work together to make Twitch safer for everyone.
How is Forsen still banned? What the fuck is wrong with Twitch? Why now?
Why now? We know that many people on Twitch, particularly women, members of the LGBTQ+ community, Black, Indigenous, and people of color unfortunately continue to experience a disproportionate amount of harassment and abuse online,
Sad.
including on our service. Not only is this blatantly unacceptable, it also undermines the community we're building on Twitch and threatens a long-term viability of streaming as a career for everyone who wishes to pursue it. We're incredibly proud of our creators who show up every day to create great content and build welcoming spaces for their communities, and facing harassment because of race, gender, or any other protected characteristic is unacceptable and has no place on Twitch. We developed the new policy to take a clearer and more consistent stance against hate and harassment, and to give you greater insight on what is and isn't acceptable on Twitch. Hateful conduct and harassment have always been prohibited, but we've added more detail explaining the behaviors that fall into these categories. We've also added specific examples to help you understand how the policy is applied in practice. This policy is the culmination of a months-long process incorporating extensive research within our community and consultation with industry experts across fields, as well as our Safety Advisory Council. We also drew heavily on a review of past cases to identify edge cases and opportunities for clarification. Understanding how we've historically enforced these policies helped us address common points of confusion and increase enforcement consistency.
Safety.
What's new in the policy? To ensure we've provided adequate detail, we've broken the policy out into 3 sections: harassment, hateful conduct, and sexual harassment, and we'll walk through key takeaways for each. Words and actions have meaning and impact, even if your intent is not meant to be hurtful or cause harm. And even if the target of your behavior or comments isn't bothered by them, others in the community may nevertheless feel impacted by it. Under the new policy, our safety team will look at the content of statements or actions in order to determine whether a behavior is abusive and violates our guidelines, rather than relying solely on perceived intent. As a consequence of this, our assessment of some areas, including some types of harassment, may rely on indications that a behavior is unwanted, including channel timeouts, bans or reports from the targeted user or a mod team. This will provide us with the necessary context to ensure we aren't punishing people for good-natured or competitive banter that is accepted in some communities. That said, we'll continue to weigh both the perspective of the reporter and the content under review to reach a determination. We expect these changes to improve overall enforcement consistency as they reduce subjectivity in the review process.
Blind playthrough. Yikes. What if I say I go on a blind date? Will I get banned then? Because someone might be offended?
Harassment. Harassment encompasses targeted attacks through attention-seeking behaviors that are designed to disrupt, harm or hijack a community or stream. People experience harassment in many ways, including personal attacks, promotion of physical harm, and malicious brigading. We do not allow harassment on Twitch, and will take action to remove it from our service. We do want to enable users to express themselves naturally with their friends and communities without fear that these interactions could be misidentified as harassment. If you feel that a behavior crosses the line into abuse, we encourage you to use our report feature or take channel-level action to indicate that a behavior is unwanted, so that we have the context we need to take appropriate action. We take your report seriously, and each report is sent to a member of our safety team for review. Beyond that, several of the changes in this updated policy make certain aspects of our long-standing policy clearer and more explicit. For example, the following behaviors are expressly prohibited. Claiming that the victim of a well-documented violent tragedy is a crisis actor, or is lying.
Then you can't make fun of me struggling anymore.
Encouraging others to doze, hack, dox, or swat another person.
Clear?
Inciting malicious raids of another person's social media profiles off Twitch. For more examples, you can review the community guidelines and our Learn More article on harassment.
Cool, we're still cool.
Hateful conduct. Harassment becomes hateful conduct when the attack is based on identity characteristics. We consider the following identity-based attributes to be protected characteristics: race, ethnicity, color, caste, national origin, immigration status, religion, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, serious medical condition, and veteran status.
Right, so you can't make fun of fat people because they have a disability? Or serious medical condition?
Race. We've added caste, color, and immigration status to this list to ensure we are evolving with our global community and providing sufficient protection for underrepresented groups. We've included more detail so you can better understand which behaviors would cross the line. For example, hate speech and symbols have always been prohibited, and we've added explicit language banning hate groups, membership in hate groups, and sharing of hate group propaganda. We've also specifically prohibited black, brown, yellow, red face, unless they are being used in an explicitly educational context. Again, this is not new, but the new guidelines will make the standard clearer for everyone. For more examples of prohibited behaviors, read our Learn More article on hateful conduct. The following changes should also be noted. Emotes are an important part of how we communicate with one another on Twitch, but they can be used maliciously. So emote combinations, even without additional text used in chat, will be held to this policy.
What?
given its historic and symbolic association with slavery and white
So are
supremacist
lifeguards
groups in the
protected?
US.
You can make
Displaying
fun
the
of political
Confederate flag
opinions
is
evidently,
prohibited.
but it's also a disability Montcom.
You can't.
Emotes are an important part of how we communicate with one another in Twitch, but they can be used maliciously. So emote combinations, even without additional text used in chat, will be held to this policy.
As a rip for Lagari. As a rip for Lagari stream. He has a lot of baiting play sounds.
Sexual harassment. While sexual harassment has always been prohibited on Twitch,
Yep.
we've heard from our community that our guidelines didn't adequately account for harassing behaviors that are sexual in nature. With this update, we've separated sexual harassment into its own category and adopted a much lower tolerance for objectifying or harassing behavior. Notable changes include repeatedly commenting on someone's perceived attractiveness, even in what you believe to be a positive or complimentary manner, is prohibited if there is indication that it's unwelcome, i.e. you've been asked to stop, timed out, or channel banned. Making lewd or explicit comments about anyone's sexuality or physical appearance is prohibited. Note that we do not make an exception for public figures. Sending unwanted, unsolicited links to nude images or videos is prohibited.
Damn.
This is another step toward recognizing our safety visions for Twitch. We do recognize we still have a lot of work to do, and we are committed to investing the necessary time and resources to get this right. We also want to acknowledge our appreciation to you, the community, for joining us in this shared commitment to make Twitch better, and for providing us with feedback along the way.
Will you issue warnings before the new policy enforcement begins? Some areas are stricter. Are you imposing increasingly strict penalties for violations? Why are you delaying the enforcement? Won't you just allow bad behavior to persist in the meantime? True. How do you decide the length of the suspension? While we do not make our specific information public, they are based on several factors. "24 hours to 30 days. In the most severe cases, we will issue indefinite suspensions on the first offense." What do you mean when you say that you will allow the use of some words or terms that might otherwise violate your policy? How do you determine if something is a hate symbol? Well, if anyone is offended by the symbol, it's a hate symbol and you have to remove it. Even if it's just like one person. I mean, that's what happened with blind playthrough. Like, how many people do you think complained about blind playthrough? Like 3 people? Maybe 3 people out of millions. Blind playthrough banned. Nice. From Bulldog banned Troy instead of Devon. A wise man once said, you did literally everything wrong. Everything you could have done wrong, you just did. Six-year-old Arch watching Formula 1. When I grow up, I want to become the greatest racist in the world. Please tell us we still hope. Yikes. I lost though. As in, don't want to objectify her.
No other way to shut down these systems.
I love that head. I think it's cool.
Can't get around them ourselves?
Nope. At least I'm fresh out of ideas.
True. Our cyberpunk character. A little self-love is back in church.
Growing in.
Blind people will be happy to see these changes. Oh wait. Based.
simple rule of my...
Linking the old one. Is there anything new on that? Yes, new show match with Lions for charity. Hey!
Vecina, ¿qué la has hecho? Allí la está jefe y la hecha. Va por ella.
Remember to click the subscription button, but that's not good enough. You gotta click the bell. Click the bell. You gotta also click the bell and thumbs up.